I'm outside rush guy. He is a outside linebacker, stand-up rush player. I think he's going to be 240 pounds, 235 pound guy before he gets out of college. He also played some other sports, but he is he's what you're looking for physically, and he in our defensive scheme, he'll be a guy to be reckoned with because we bring so many guys off the edges. The last guy, Michael Gwynn, is here now. We're really excited about Michael. He gives us a lot more size. He's about 310 pounds right now. And once we get into off-season workout, it's going to be great for him to get a spring under his belt because he's going to play some next year for us. And just being here in January, he's going to get kind of a chance to not be a rookie when he gets here in the fall. So we're excited about him. And he was one of the, Bert found him, he was one of the most highly rated players when we first signed him. I think he was in the top 50 players in Texas, and then when we signed him, the next time it came out, he was in the top 100, like 98 or something. Because if he'd gone to SMU, he couldn't have been that good. And that's kind of the treatment we got, before this year. So now when we sign a guy, they stay where they are, and so that's good to see that. But there was a lot of teams, as you can see, after Michael, and he's a really, really class kid. His dad's a coach, and we're really excited about the addition of Michael Gwynn.
He had an offer from Kansas State a couple weeks, then you guys offered, then he committed to you, was your first commit in February this time last year. Did you feel the effects of that? Do you feel a lot of times in recruiting, you want to jumpstart the class and it's hard to get that first guy. Did you feel like you felt the effects of him committing a big time guy?
Having not been here and gone through that kind of stuff before, I don't know how you probably, that what you're describing probably did happen. But I don't really, know that because I don't have a past experience with it. But Bert did a great job with he and his father, and we were lucky that he jumped in the boat, like you said earlier. And I think that helped probably with some, if not all of them, 2 or 3 of them for sure, the other kids. Anybody have anything else?
What would you say were your 3 areas of need going into this?
Going into this, I think we had a need at safety, depth in the defensive line, and we needed a big play receiver. One more big play receiver, and probably got 3 or 4 of those.
So you got probably
I wouldn't have said before, Chambray I think it was going to be here, but we've been recruiting a couple running backs and hoping that they would have redshirted if Chambray had stayed. Now they're probably going to play.
Keith mentioned maybe you got 2 out of 3. Can you talk about the need of depth on the defensive line? Do you feel like you hit that need, or what's like?
No, I still feel like we don't have the depth we need. We're okay, but 1 or 2 injuries, and all of a sudden you're really, really thin. But that we knew that going in, and we knew that going in, and we had opportunities, but just not the guys that you want to do. So. We'll roll the dice. We rolled the dice last year on probably 3 positions, and we got lucky on all 3. Now we'll probably roll the dice just on the D-line next year, and hopefully get through that.
Is that the hardest position to find? Interior.
I think they are. Because the ones that can play right now usually are. It's just like the National Football League. You see the first round.
Yeah.
4 of the first 15 picks are D-linemen because they're so hard to find. Same thing in college recruiting, it's relative, but historically we've taken the Forrest Hagers, the 6'4", 210-pounder, and then made them by the time they're juniors or sophomores, they're 250, then 265, and now you got a bunch of guys, and that's kind of what you have to do sometimes.
Which looks like you got about 3 or 4 players that might have some impact next year. Can you name those off the top of your which?
Well, I would say that it'd probably be easier to go through the ones that are probably going to redshirt for sure. I would say, the ones that I don't mention are probably gonna be on the team next year, not redshirt. But I would say Greenbrier probably has a chance to maybe redshirt just because he's gonna be playing a position he's never played before.
You just seemed like you thought that Ben Gottschalk, and then you thought Kaiser was gonna compete pretty well, and Chris Parks said like.
Yeah, I think those guys are all gonna get on the field, you know. I mean, we're not, like I said, I kind of said we need a recruiting class and then a half of another one before we can redshirt 18 out of the 25 guys. Because we just don't have the depth and the speed on special teams and stuff. So I'm looking at this list, I thought it was gonna be easier, but I don't see a guy on here right now. Now, if Kaiser, you know, doesn't do it in the first month of the season, then I'm gonna try to redshirt him, you know. But if he comes on, he's gonna take as many reps as the starters do for 3.5 weeks. You know, if he looks like he's gonna, you know, have a chance, then, you know, maybe he won't redshirt. Derek, probably, Thompson would probably be, because of the injury, probably be a pushback guy. Thornton may be a pushback guy just because I think he's got so much size potential ahead of him. But in reality, I think all those guys right there we got a chance to get on the field, you know, so they won't be redshirt people.
Do you have the flexibility to, if you guys?
Kenneth Aker maybe too. You know, you know, unless you know, his punt return kickoff, if he's special there, maybe he'll get on the field. But because he's not played a lot of safety, that he may be a redshirt guy.
Do you guys have the flexibility if you guys find a late qualifier or a JUCO DN that, or D
Yeah.
tackle that fell through, that you guys have the flexibility to get in?
Yes, we do.
So is that something you guys are
Yep.
looking at?
Yep.
How many scholarships did you have officially right now?
25.
You had 25 scholarships?
You mentioned Ben Gottschalk. A lot of coaches will talk about offensive linemen, no matter how talented they are, needing a year of physical maturity to get stronger and playing the heavier guys in college. Is this guy so talented that his talent will supersede the need for that?
Well, that and the depth, you know, issue. I mean, we're a little bit in the old line the same way, that some of the, you like to redshirt him if you can, but, you know, I think he's good enough to play, just watching him on film, and I would think that'll prove out to be true, even if he's only 275, and another year he'll be 295, but, you know, once he gets in our program and everything, he'll gain, you know, size. But he's very talented offensive lineman.
You've mentioned in the past that not only are you guys winning at a pace that you thought you could, or maybe even greater at this point, you being here 2 years, are you recruiting better than you thought you could at this point?
Oh, this class, I you know, kind of, like I said, I don't know that, well, I don't know how long it's been here since a class like this has come here. And I haven't had a class like this at any of my time in 10 years in college football. So that's kind of exciting.
Could be the start of some good things to come here.
Yeah.